Alafana na Kwame Bedi Akon aka Freedom Jacob Caesar or the Manifesto aba betu bia wo chirem say no ene kwan obefa so e de Ghana economy ne say Ghana for man chance say o may president of the Republic of Ghana e kwan obefa so de Ghana for every eye baabi e wo sisi e de akodun pempen so for na watun din say the 12 pillars of economic growth, the apostolic governance. So waka the 12, the number 12 na in biblical terms ne kwa no 12 ejina homa completeness any authority say munya munim say eye Yesu Christo na suafo no ye 12 it is our 12 eye disciples no in relation to eye the economic principles and I say e kwan a obefa so a ode Ghana for ye be free one e de akotum 2 no what say mu 12 now find the 12 pillars of economic growth and no and ya famu 6 a part 1 of this video ya dey bro e wo ha say na the part 2 no so ya rabe so mo wada foforo enti na no ya fa 12 pillars no and ya be chemu 6 no emu chiremu na me dey bro e wo ha say medini simo de shiny aha shiny questions and no face that na so no subscribe no like video no share ama foforo so enya bia hwe. Let me take you straight to what Nana Kwame Bedi Akon said in the manifesto now, which he said no no so de Ghana every baby away e de akodun pempen so for. First one was the 16th regional industrial revolution. What Shema who said according to Nana Kwame Bedi Akon was what Tina say ayenhwehwemu who said Ghana here no as a greater Accra region and kwana as you consider when it comes to a developmental project about industrialization as a greater Accra and kwana sane man no ekoso and what na say who say there are a lot of things that will be generated from the other 15 regions and they become the greater Accra so be provide no no and we chema o take Ashanti region as a case study now for Ashanti region no we chema Ashanti region hankwan onipa be 5.4 million and wa Ashanti region hase ye landa e wa hase ya ebetimi adua so niema anase eye oni beka se fertile soils anase fertile land e wa Ashanti region hase eye 1.2 million asase da ho a otimi se betima yeso adwuma anase betima adua nnuaba wo so amane fifi kama eye 1.2 million na wo chema sa eniema wo ye ne sa nipa e wa Ashanti region hankwan no. So in 10 years time, or cast will be this Juma way or Ashanti region kwan. In 10 years time, no benya $89 million. Or a Juma Babadi our Ashanti region ha with that 1.2 million land no. We also bet market a Juma in the agri sector about 855,000 jobs. Our Ashanti region ha in agri sector alone. We also in 10 years time no. We bet me in the mining sector. Bet menya 583,000 jobs in the mining sector. Which remember, first one 855,000 in the agri sector. No, bet me employ amount for na say a juma bet me create our Ashanti region hankwan. In the mining sector, so baha or say 583,000 jobs and a bet me create in the mining sector.
This has started the 16th Industrial Revolution. It's supposed to bring back the 15 dormant regions that we have left for so long and we haven't done anything. But tonight, I would like to unveil all the potential minerals, arable lands, and all that we have discovered through the research within the 15 regions to Ghanaians. Now, as you are seeing, we start by making sure we invest in all these 16 regions. That is industrial plants to be able to refine all our minerals. And then the processing plants to be able to process all our agro plants.
Now I see what I say a man for be a 24-hour economy. Wase obi a oton gari e wonchen ho entimi koye 24 hours economy e be fa say na be kwan be so no nya ko be fa so a 24-hour economy or then ho ebetima gimobi na it will only take industrialization the onona prepare so ba be ya magana for no eno it will only take machines and be mo obi etima be adwuma 8 hours am obi ebetima so be adwuma 8 hours no obi so ba fie ba be to aso bi sa and ebetima 24-hour economy.
To be honest with you, a machine, a plant, is the only thing that can give you jobs in 3 different shifts. 8 hours times 3 a day. That is what I call 24-hour economy. You need industrialization. Who sells Gary for 24 hours in Makola? The women in Kejetia and Kantamanto cannot work for 24 hours. It would take a factory. It would take a plant, a production line to give 3 shifts a day. No industrialization, no 24-hour economy.
Na enya de amanfo ekeka na according to Nana Kwame Bediako ne nsema o de to dwa ne the first pillar of the manifesto no yanko the second pillar of what Nana Kwame Bediako is saying. For pillar 2 on the list Ghana's first water transportation and sub-regional railway. Eno kwan ya ofa so na waka se obe connect insuo e wo Ghana hase no together. So the transportation ebe easy because who ni say Ghana exporting more about 89% of your name use to hanyina exported from Abuchi. Now se be exporting na so no so se oba be nnuma in all the 15 regions our Ghana has say obe industrialization. A kwan be so be fa so be transporting the money from one place to the other. And you may be wanting me from Ngoka, so this all the fence so and no anamana ya na adwen say obey sa water transportation say be ya in order say person transporting a name from one place to the other which means so e dey fa enso so owie so so say chire mu say obey connective railways in Ghana say be ya name transported to say me kan e wo enso so na no so be easy na sa name na o mo de be use aye railway ni nyina no be make sure so me producing e wo Ghana ha ya.
So this is Cape Coast. Right here, this river Pra, and I'm so sorry to mention what has happened to it, but we'll get to that. River Pra leads all the way to Ofin and goes over there to Anum and goes there to Birim and to Koforidia. So here is Kumasi right here. Okay, you can see it. Now what we have to do is something called industrial dredging. You can go back and look at countries like Egypt that have used and dredged and had canals that generate 9.4 billion a year. The canals are meant for a lot of things, and the water transportation are also meant for a lot of things. The irrigation of this country for all our plants and all our crops will need industrial irrigation. So we need to do it one way or the other to support the system. The ferries, the cruises, the leisure, the transportation and the logistics that will move all the industrial products that we are about to manufacture will be pooled on this water. The railway network is part of our vision. Our vision is to develop a comprehensive railway network exceeding 8,000 kilometers. We will be able to manufacture our own steel and create that 8,000 kilometer railway track that will cost us billions of dollars if we had to give it out on contract. And connect and build the Eastern Corridor, the Western Corridor, and guess what? The gist of this vision is to also drive the railways to the 3 borders that faces Ghana.
And for number 3 on the list, energy and technology hub. Nana Kwame Bediako so watena se hu say efiti 19 kojo ho abreso Ghana ye rely say benya electricity every hydro nsuo mu no enye nasem enti na yam building other ways say betimi ade enya electricity obo he made mention of thermal biomass windmills and solar farms baby betima create solar panels to generate sunlight energy near transforming or anase converting into electricity. So the be betimi ama over reliance on akosombo dam no so ebete se the be Ghana for the bia betimanya electricity na gina ne na so 247.
Energy city and a technology hub. Energy city. And I know most people haven't probably seen this, but Energy City is built in countries like Bahrain, Qatar, many places. That's a consolidated energy resources and pipelines and big offices that connects with all mineral resources that produce energy. So our Energy City is definitely fit to add value to our industrial vision, to be able to create more megawatts, to be able to create more substations when we tap into our gas pipelines, be able to use our gas and our water. As you can see, there is hydroelectric power plants we have to expand. There will be wind farms, there will be solar farms, thermal power plants, such as natural gas and biomass power plants. Our energy sources will need to meet our industrial demands and the demands of our people.
So our the technology hub no so eka ho technology hub no so who say Ghana has say you use niam bebre you use device bebre e be say laptop e be say mobile phone and niam bebre use e be wo ha the plastic kra na eye na plastic recycle kra na ye wo Ghana has say ntia ntina sa niam no yentimi ene lithium aye wo nyina yentimi keka sa niam no nyina fa mom niam fa make so sa niam no na yem fa ma ye kura na omo beso mo sua de no te se bia ye se laptop ye de man kra ma omo de sua de ya ye laptop ni a program niam a ye pese nkra ni sua ade agusu ade man kra na se de be ya de ye pe ana ye nkra no ebesua.
And that's why we've combined Technology Hub with the Energy City. When I say Technology Hub, I don't know if the old school will really understand what I mean, but I would have to break it down. Okay? It's a combination of Silicon Valleys and a whole industrial platform, okay, to build all technological gadgets that the world demands. Everybody today is holding an iPhone, or they have a laptop, or they have a tab. But we don't produce these things in our country. We have the minerals already. We have lithium. We have recycling plastic. Going into industrialization is going to give us the capacity to be able to build our own mobile phones and our own laptops, and we can produce our schools with laptops that will teach them what we want them to learn right from the beginning. We are in control of our destiny by producing it ourselves. And it's there. We just need to make sure that we put these plants and get this energy and produce these products and do this packaging and trade it to the world. That is creating jobs, creating value, and being in control.
Alpha number 4 on the pillar aye reserves. Baby aye kra enema and as a kwan be fa so aye Ghana ye be kra enema for future use and as for future reference. Or say abrochire kwa abrochire sesi a omu gold and as kwa England sesi omu gold de gu honom just for future no enya asam ketwa. Edi enti na Ghana na bi yetu gold ha yetu bauxite wa ha sei yetu oil wa ha sei enso so yes aye enema no ye ni bia ye di sie for daache. Adenti na ebetu gold nmewie na bi eni ho atese ye beka se ye jai ama achirima na mo ba mo so abeton age ahwe oman no ose saade no ebi nhye na ne obi wo hokra na ayeketu abi enti ono wo include no e wo ne manifesto ni mu say the 200 tons of gold ebesie for future owie nso so a obeye reserve a ye Ghana ye oil a ye tu ni ebi bia ye nnuane a ye no o kosie bi e de asi ba bi say ye be ya daache bia no ekom emmadi achirima ne mpo daache bi kokro foforo bi e shorti nnuane na so mo pe nnuane a Ghana will be the only place am do mani ba be kire se omo ba be hwehwe nnuane e de free ha sei.
But there's one thing that I learned from our ancestors. You know, when I was learning from how the other people governed this world, the likes of the Egyptians and the King Solomons and the Mansa Musas and all the Americans and Europeans, they took one thing seriously. The Africans are not taking it serious. And that is reserves. Even an ant stores food. You need to store things. You need to have reserves. We are a nation of 33 million people. What have we prepared for our future? Where is our oil reserves? Where is our gold reserves? I mean, up until recently, we had only 7 tons in our central bank. And this information is public information. Up until recently. I don't know if it's really gotten to 14 now, because the last time they needed more tons just to borrow money. But that's all And you have the likes of multinational companies like the Goldfields, and they have moved 300s of tons from this country, and we can only have 7 tons as our reserves. Why is Qatar keeping 500 tons as reserves? Why does England have 3,000 something just gold reserves? Why? I mean, what is it going to cost us to build our own hard rock mining? To go for the target, I want to take that first 200 tons as reserves in this country. I will do whatever it takes because I already have the gold on the ground. And we, as the new force, as the new generational leaders who are thinking with vision, we would make sure that we create that reserves for gold, and fund or money will not be a problem. But not only that do you need in reserves, not just gold or not just oil. Some of the biggest things in this world, you'll be surprised, is the food we eat every day. It's the basic necessity. And if you can have that, you have the opportunity and the power to feed the world.
And for pillar 5, the National Sovereign Fund. I know say the new IMF with some nneɛma a wɔba bɛyɛ industrialization nneɛma a wɔba bɛyɛ ɛwɔ nkronkro yi nyinaa so no obetake a percentage no de kwa akoto honom nti so wɔde to hɔ a ɛno ana bɛyɛ the new IMF yɛ pɛbosia bi a na yɛ pesika bi de akwa akɔyɛ biribi a enum ana bɛkɔ akɔyi sika no ɛde afiri.
This is the new IMF. Well, at this very point, Ghana is going to help me launch the new IMF because verbally it said, but physically and mentally we are about to implement it. This pillar is a new policy and it would disrupt, and dissolve. But eventually it will rebuild our heritage value. In the past, our minerals have been extracted and exported for pennies. We're ending it. The National Sovereign Wealth Fund is the new IMF, independent and autonomous. It will collect every reserves, and it will keep it and it will protect it. But nobody have to pretend you're not accountable or responsible for our own anymore, because now it's secured within the National Fund. And if anybody needs anything within the ministries or the government, let them go to the fund. And they will know this fund has more wealth than IMF or the World Bank can ever give them. And they will know it all came from these grounds. It's the reserves, your gold, your cocoa, your 100 years of seedling banks.
Number 6 on the list is the SNIT revolution. And I come be dia koso atena se ehun se SNIT. O start say wo ye adwuma obetwia be 40 years. Ansan na won sa kan osika che se odi egu honom no. Won tia se wo say yes e wo say akoye bibi se nka 5 years kura nka obetimi edon sa akoka osika ayi ade opeso odi ye bia. Enti ohun se odi be a new form of insurance for the people of Ghana. Edi enti na wo kasa. Wasi obetima akwa ahokyere bi obi bekọ hospital wo yare ohie sika de akọ hospital. Yale bi abono. Yeso one first car ma ye nhwe no. Enti eno no betima ye as insurance ama yetima hwe no yare obi yetu no oni ne dan oni sika ode kwa akọ ha bia na so oni sika bi ode ye adwuma. Obetima yusu no as insurance na ode akọpẹ baby kura opeso oda anase baby kura opeso otena. Eno ene the SNIT revolution no. One tena ho am obi ndi 40 years and that will be entry SNIT 40 years and sana nsa aka ne sika animanimu ya won sabetima aka osika e de aye de opeso yes and so betim di sika no akwa investment bi mu se de beya betimi uhie sika na e betimi abo anase sika na betimi awo ntafo e de amawo.
Now let's go into this. The SNIT revolution is solving 3 major needs, but I also call it major problems of Ghanaians, and that's health, education, and accommodation. Currently, contributors of SNIT have to pay and wait up to 40 years till pension before they be qualified for their claims. Some will die halfway and it will not even be given to their children. Some will never even see this. But we have changed it. As from now, we would say that our policy would be turning SNIT into a nation's insurance fund. This insurance fund is interesting, and I'd like to take you through it. Ghanaians will now be eligible to claim for their health, education, and accommodation. How so? Because in the next 5 years, you can claim your SNIT back. You can claim it in cash, or you can invest it in insurance. If you invest it in insurance, and then you have one of the major problems or the needs in Ghana, which is either I've lost my job and I don't have somewhere to stay, that your 5,000 or 10,000 savings in SNIT can become times 10 to get you home. An accommodation, somewhere to stay. You can put in the claim. You can put in the claim when you have a major health issue, like how you go to hospitals and the people die first because maybe they don't have the cash first. This policy is kill me first, bill me later. You can go to the insurance funds. We're not going to let people in the country be homeless and fall out on the street because they have no jobs. Your SNIT fund is supposed to be able to become the insurer that will get you that home. And this is what is going to happen. Once we do all of this, we're going to create a fund. This fund will guarantee payments for investors.
And for the 12 pillars, no, yeah, for 6, and the part 2 of this video, and the other 6, no, a munchemu, and the abroad. Mess no face there, no subscribe, no like video, no share my for Ashebi. With these 6 pillars, I'm the abroad. I said, do you think, say, and not come with the stands a chance to become the president of Ghana? And now said, does he have your vote? Over to Abano, Aman, with what's the work canon, I want the manifesto more. In the comment section, Medini Simone Shine in my crowd. The best share.